Hello FUTV Army, welcome along to the live show this morning. It is a bright day for all Manchester United fans. We have a green light, we have an imminent move. We could be seeing Ruben Amorin in the dugout this weekend against Chelsea at Old Trafford. This news was circulating around Portuguese publications last night. Fabrizio Romano has been talking this morning, a few others have been talking. We're going to go through all of the headlines, all of the reports that happened last night, what's come out this morning. We've got some extracts from pieces from interesting stuff around Ruben Amorin as well, his system, where it started, everything that everybody has been digging into, obviously, because not many people knew a lot about Amorin. In this live show, we are going to be going through everything, starting with where we are actually up to with Amorin being Manchester United manager, what has been said. Let's get into the video, everybody. First of all, if you love United, please subscribe to the channel. That's all I'm asking. I love you all. Welcome along to the live chat. We're going to get your comments, of course, on everything going on right now from all of the reports that we're reading out. I hope you're all doing well. I can see the members. I can see the mods. I can see I can see a few new faces in here as well. Welcome along if you are new. And yeah, please do get your comments in and get talking to me, everybody. It is time that we look forward. It is time that Manchester United now turned over this new page. And this new page, we thought yesterday, after Ten Hag was let go and sacked by Manchester United, we would be seeing Ruud van Nistelrooy for maybe a couple of weeks. Well, according to reports and according to some well-placed media outlets, that could be even sooner. Well, it won't be sooner for Van Nistelrooy, sorry. It'll be sooner for Amorin walking through the door and Van Nistelrooy sat next to him. Excuse me, something that flew in my mouth then. According to reports, Ruud van Nistelrooy is happy to work alongside Amorin and be part of the project and help rebuild Manchester United. We was touching on that a bit yesterday, but what is more important now is that Ruud van Nistelrooy is probably going to get the game tomorrow against Leicester, and that will be it. Amorin, according to, first of all, TalkSport, which came out with this last night, there is expected to be a deal on the table, signed, sealed and completed before the weekend game. We could be seeing Amorin in this week's press conference ahead of the game against Chelsea, which is scheduled for Friday. This is absolutely massive for Manchester United for Manchester United fans. The news is brilliant. There is so much to get through. Fabrizio Romano, as you can see on the tweet at the bottom of your screen there, everybody, has just said as well that Amorin has given the green light to Manchester United. It is a here we go pretty much. Fabrizio Romano usually teases up with a bit of a green light. Talks are going. And obviously, we are now looking at the possibility of a here we go within the next few hours. Well, not the next few hours, but we're expecting some update, some big update today, according to everything that's going on within the reports right now. We're expecting a official announcement and a press conference this week. This is how quickly it's moved overnight. So this goes to show that Manchester United, going off these just first few reports that we've read out here, that this has been worked on for a while. Manchester United have gone into Amorin apparently a couple of weeks ago. We all know what happened a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago. Manchester United were absolutely battered by Spurs at home. And Ten Hag has come out recently, which I have slaughtered, obviously. I wasn't impressed. You all know how I feel about Ten Hag's excuses. The fact that he wanted to wipe that game off the actual roster, get it off the fixture list. It didn't matter. Of course it mattered. And I think this is the game that mattered the most for Ineos actually looking for another manager. This is now looking like the game that Ineos decided it was time. And they started doing work behind the scenes. I think Gary Neville said this the other day. And obviously, I don't agree with everything that Gary Neville says. I do like Gary Neville and his job that he does. But I do agree with this. I think the Spurs game would have been the catalyst for Manchester United to now be looking at other options. I feel like Manchester United have seen that and they have gone to work behind the scenes. And this is when all of the stories came out about Manchester United actively looking for managers behind Ten Hag's back again. I hated that line. I hated the fact that people were calling it snide or below the belt. Do you know what I mean? Just say it as it is. It's United doing their job. It's what they needed to do. We were underperforming. And as soon as the negative results started to circulate, the leaks would have come out, which they started to do. We reported on the players, and the players not being happy with Ten Hag's rotation system, and nobody being able to actually sort of find any form or consistency within the team. It happened after the Fenerbahce game. The excuses were coming out again. And then obviously the debacle, which was Sunday, United not playing well, but the way that Ten Hag was talking, and another defeat, United planted in 14th for quarter of the way through the season. It was time, and obviously then the media got wind of everything. The interesting thing in this is, and more reports that have come out, is that Ebola, the Portuguese publication, are the ones that have said that this is done. The move is going to be completed imminently. There is no real issue between discussions with Sporting and Manchester United. Both clubs have a fantastic record, which dates right back, as we know, all the way to the Cristiano Ronaldo days. They do have a very good relationship communication-wise. Obviously, you've got the Bruno Fernandes factor there as well. There has been plenty. You look at Nane as well, Marcus Rojo. Manchester United have done plenty of dealings with Sporting in the past, and this is why everybody is confident that the compensation fee, which is reportedly 10 million euros, around 8.3 million pound, will be agreed. Ineos are willing to pay that, and Amorim, according to Ebola, is about to sign a 3-year contract worth around 8 million euros a year. So he is happy with the terms. Fabrizio Romano has also said that these terms are fully agreed between the club and the manager. He's happy with the terms of the contract, the length of the contract. He's happy with how Ineos want to work in terms of that direction and the structure above the manager. And that was key also in this, because there is a report from Samuel Luckhurst in the MEN who was talking yesterday as well, and he was saying that Manchester United had convinced Ruben Amorin to replace Erik Ten Hag earlier than what he first thought. There are more reports saying that Amorim knew he was going to be the favourite if Ten Hag was sacked, but nobody foreseen the quick nature of his exit. As in, no one expected Manchester United to completely fall off a cliff form-wise and Ineos be put in a position they didn't want to be put in and sacking Ten Hag. Amorim was always lined up. Going off these reports, Amorim was always lined up. Talks were continuously going on and continuously happening behind the scenes. And Manchester United were probably going to approach Amorim before the end of the season anyway and get him in place for the summer. This was something that was in the pipeline. It has been moved forward simply because Ineos went to Amorim because they'd made a mistake with Ten Hag in the summer. They had to rectify it, they had to react, they had to act, and he has been convinced by the structure. I don't know who it was, whether it was Omar Barada, the sporting director Dan Ashworth, maybe even Sir David Brailsford was involved in this, but he has been fully convinced by the projects they have put forward, which is, out of all of this news right now, the single best thing that you can look at when it comes to Amorim coming through the door. He is a man that wants to work with the structure. So United is a big plus. United is obviously a great football club, as we know. Obviously with red-tinted glasses and all of that. But when you're looking in as a manager, it's hard to turn down the Manchester United job. So that is a law on its own. But obviously the way that things have been going at Manchester United, you could always say, look, there may be sort of like doubts within managers' minds, or anyone, like coaches, managers, players, anybody coming into the football club would look at how Manchester United have sort of declined over the last 10 years, and you would feel like that's normal. Anybody with doubts coming in, they're definitely going to do the homework. They're going to make sure that everything fits right for them, and I can totally understand if a manager didn't want to come to United. Like, we know that we were talking to plenty of managers in the summer. Plenty have turned us down, apparently. And you could see why. It probably wasn't the right fit at the right time. Amorim is definitely a manager that is ready to make that move. Sources in Portugal cannot believe that Amorim has not made the move already and he's still at Sporting. It was quite clear that he was waiting around. There was a clause in his contract this summer which released him from that contract, which United were going to take full advantage of, and many other clubs were tapping into this as well. They all knew that there were certain stipulations within his contract where he could be released this summer, but Ineos have had to act again. It's the Lenny Yoro scenario all over again. They've had to pay a little bit more, they've had to do a little bit more and go beyond to get him through the door because they made a mistake. And keeping Ten Hag has cost them money. At least they have put their hand in the pocket and made something happen quickly enough to salvage the season. Manchester United are fighting on all fronts still with a new manager in. They wasn't with Erik ten Hag in situ. It was just going down and down and down. Like we said yesterday, that trend line and just drifting off. Like, all of the stats were telling us that everything was wrong with Ten Hag. And I think Ineos, with the people that are in place right now and the football people, I think Sir David Brailsford would have been big and keen on this as well. He would have been looking at the projections of where United were going and said to Sir Jim Radcliffe, look, like, we cannot carry on. It's impossible to carry on. And now we have got all of this. And Ineos, when they act quickly. And thank goodness we've got this done, which is why we're hearing right now that Amorim could be in position for the Chelsea game. We may even be getting a press conference on Friday ahead of that game with Amorim in Manchester United, in situ, in that press box, which would be fantastic. And everything is about to change. The contract has been agreed, 3-year deal, $8 million a year. Amorim is done. It is a done deal, people. Whichever way you look at it, if you've got any doubts, anything at all, it's over. He is the new Manchester United manager. And we are going to get the announcement this week. That is what the reports are saying this morning. It is absolutely fantastic news for Manchester United fans. I'm just getting glimpses of the live chat running through right now. I can already see how much more people are interested and invested into the football again. Whether you like Ten Hag or not, whether you think you were harsh on Ten Hag or not on this channel, or me in particular, I can see it just now. I can see with the amount of people that are in the room right now. Thank you, everybody. We've got over 1,500 in, and I really do appreciate all the likes as well. I can tell by the vibe that everybody's picked up a little bit, and this is what Manchester United needed. They needed to make the right decision, and I put that in the chat this morning. I've put the poll up right now and asked the question, have United got the best manager available in Amorim? 83% of you have said yes, 17% no. Would be interested to know who else you would have gone for that is gettable right now. Could we have done the same with Julian Nagelsmann? Could we have got him from Germany? I think that was the tougher job to get Nagelsmann over the line. I feel like that was more difficult than getting Amorim. We all know that Amorim was ready to go this summer, and United have just jumped in early. Look, Pep Guardiola could leave Manchester City. I think Amorim would have been going, surefire thing, dead cert, over to Man City, and that's done. I mean, that's what would have happened. 100% he would have been going to Manchester City. You know that Viana's going over there, the sporting director from Sporting, and I think it was set up for him. Look, I'm going to read you a couple of bits out from from me. Where is it now? Sorry, I lost my thingy there for a second. I lost my actual screen that I was actually on. In terms of Amorim and what he actually is, I've lost it again. For God's sake, Adam, come on. Yeah, why has that left my screen right now? Right, okay, sorry. Right, I found it back. I've got it back again, everybody. Sorry about that. I'm just going to read like a couple of extracts from what the BBC has actually put out this morning on Amorim as a character and what he actually brings to football. Really interesting read. Go and look at the article on the BBC. Ruben Amorim is a big fan of the Premier League given the pace of the game. He follows City and Brighton closely and makes sure he watches a couple of Premier League games every week. His English is excellent, and in his recent reading material includes books about Guardiola, Pochettino and Jose Mourinho. So you can tell he would have been going to City. He watches the style of football that Brighton play. He watches the style of football at City. Similar. High press. He is one of the... They have... Sporting, by the way, have one of the most intense high presses in European football. The stats tell you everything you need to know. Expect Manchester United to be playing a different brand of football completely. This next extract, though, from it is the more interesting one. And this gives you a little bit of insight into the character of Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim's coaching career began at Casa Pia. That is a team in the third tier of Portuguese football, where it was almost ended as soon as it began. He lost his first two games, and in his pride and hurt and doubts setting in, he announced if he lost the third game, he would quit. In that next match, he changed the system and played a back three for the first time. The system worked, and from then on, he remained unbeaten at the club. By the way, he has won the league twice in Portugal. He has won 2 Super Cups as well. He has also won a cup with Braga as well before he moved to Sporting. So before the age of 40, Ruben Amorim already has 5 major trophies in Portugal. I know what you're saying. You're going to say, yeah, that's not the Premier League. No, it's not. He has never been sacked yet. He's never been fired from a job yet. It's very similar to Ten Hag. What's different to Ten Hag? I know what's coming. I know the questions that are going to follow what I'm saying here right now. But this is a man with a different approach. This is a man with more charisma. This is a man who speaks perfect English. And I know you're saying that shouldn't matter. And Ten Hag was just about understandable. And it's about getting that message across on a training ground. If you inspire players and give players something to work for, then you will get more from them players. If you play players and then inexplicably just drop them out of the team for 6 weeks after they've played well, you are not going to get that player coming back the same man again. You can talk about rotation and resting players. Ten Hag was not getting the best out of Manchester United's players. Ruben Amorin is known for bringing youth players through. He's known for spotting talent, developing players. He is also known for his fast attacking, aggressive style of football. I think United have got players in this team that fit that mould. I think we've got the perfect setup for a back three, by the way. I cannot wait now for Lenny Yoro to get back fit in this side. It is going to be absolutely brilliant. So, by the way, if you wanted to know how Amorim is doing so far this season, in all competitions, Sporting Lisbon, 12 games, 11 wins, 1 draw. 9 straight wins in the league. Now, thank you. That is a decent record and a confident man coming in. I reckon Sporting right now are gutted that he's leaving. But like the Portuguese reports and the media is saying, they still cannot believe how he hasn't moved already. Someone else in the Premier League, higher than Manchester United, would have taken Amorim this summer if United didn't take him now. That's all you need to know. He was coming to the Premier League, and it would have been another manager going to a club above us, leaving us behind again. Ineos have acted. They've sacked Ten Hag. They've brought Amorim in before anyone else can get him. That's all you need to know when it comes to if he is the right man or not. And this is purely my opinion. I'm going to come to the live chat in a second to get your opinions on everything and go through it all and have a good chinwag with you lot. But I just look at that and say that's the biggest thing in all of this. For me, I think the fact that he would have been leaving in the summer, going to a City or another club in the Premier League or a big club, tells you everything you need to know. If the bigger clubs in world football are after him, then why should Manchester United not be after him? Yes, you can say we don't know if it's going to work, but we don't know if anybody's going to work. We just don't know. So what do? You cut that off. You shorten your odds by going out there and getting the best that there is out there right now. And that's what United have done. They've gone and got the best manager out there that is available to them right now in this situation, which they created themselves. Yes, Ineos have got a lot to answer for not acting in the summer and doing this earlier, but they have acted now and dealt with the situation at this stage where it is, and the season is still on. That was the biggest thing in all. We can talk about the money, we can talk about the finances, we can talk about the mistakes and looking stupid, but at least they've owned up to it. And at least they've done the right thing. And I think to get it all done in a day, oh my word, that was one hell of a day. If I could go back 2 days now and how I was feeling Sunday night after that West Ham game and where this team was going and what was happening to our football club, you weren't looking forward to the games that were coming up. All of a sudden, a crucial decision is made within the club. A new manager is coming through the door. The excitement factor is back. Manchester United have got a chance, a real chance to achieve something this season with this team. I still stand by what I said at the start of the season. Manchester United should be in that top 4. And if we beat Chelsea, who are 5th, 1 point off the top 4, on Sunday, we are 3 points behind them. And it's all of a sudden it's game on. Yes, you could say that Ten Hag could have done that, and you would have been talking a different way still and being all negative. I look past that and go, the vibe that this manager will bring, that new manager bounce, first of all, yes, but what he does, how he makes players better, how everybody in world football is tapping into that Portuguese market, not just Sporting, but Porto, Benfica. We all know how they work. They are a feeder club for good players. You look at what Ten Hag's players, apart from Frankie de Jong, for instance, in that side that he had, that great side. Like, not many others have gone on and succeeded to high levels, have they? I think with what's happening at Sporting right now and the players that he has brought in, and you know what, I'm not even going to talk about players that have left. I'm talking about players like Gyökeres, who was at Coventry 2 seasons ago and playing in the Championship. And look at his goal-scoring record now at Sporting. He identifies players that will help his system. This is the Arteta. This is the Pep Guardiola. The Klopp type of manager. The Unai Emery. They know exactly what way they want to play, and they know exactly what player they need, and they go and handpick that player. And with a Sporting structure behind him, it is a recipe for success for me. But hey, let's see what you have all got to say. By the way, it's now gone to 81%. I think someone was upset with what I was saying, and they've started voting against Ruben Amorim being the best manager out there available right now. So yes, I think I just convinced one more person because it's gone up to 82% right now. Keep voting. We already have around 1,200 votes on that poll already. Wow, thank you. Over 2,000 people in the room. Please give the video a like, everybody. Make sure you have subscribed as well. We cut through the crap. It's as simple as that. That's what we do on Forever United TV. We are different to everybody else. For that reason, I stand by what I say. I take the L if it comes my way. But I knew I was right. I knew a lot of people were right with Ten Hag. And I pray, and I'm sort of jumping the gun maybe a little bit, that we are right with Ruben Amorin. I'm excited by this manager coming in. I really am. And I cannot wait for it all to start. But can you? Let's see. The chat has been bubbling. I've seen some debates going on already in there. Some happy, some not. What about Rude? Surely Amorim brings own coaches in. That's from Gail with a super chat. Apparently, Rude is staying no matter what. Obviously, the terms and conditions discussed with Ineos and Ruben Amorim apart within this 3-year contract would be that Van Nistelrooy stays in. They have sold Van Nistelrooy this project. They have sold Ruben Amorim this project. I think Ruben Amorim knows. And with him studying books, let's say, for instance, Ruben Amorim, will Van Nistelrooy stay? And will he bring his own coaches in? If he is looking at the Jose Mourinho, the Pep Guardiola, what's happening with Brighton, things like that. If he's studying these types of managers, Pochettino, all of these people use knowledgeable people within the football club as part of their coaching setup. May not be high up, may not be his number 2 or 3 or his set-piece coach, whatever you want to call it. And they may not be right up there on the roster, but they have to have an element of expertise around the culture, around the history. Ruud van Nistelrooy is the perfect person to have in alongside Amorim right now. And I feel like Amorim studying the Premier League, studying the books and the tactics and the knowledge of Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, everything that they have done, you have to look at the character of Amorim. That's why I wanted to read them extracts out from the piece that the BBC did, which was brilliant. And you have to look at the man inside him and say he is clearly knowledgeable enough. He has studied and watches the Premier League enough to know that you cannot just jump in from another league and step up to the Premier League and make it work with your own people. It does not work. We've seen it with everybody. It's failed every time. And he's said himself, he would have watched himself. He would have seen that this is happening. And obviously, that now is something that he will take into consideration and move that forward into his time at United, implementing the right people in the right places. Let's see. Boys and girls, everyone finally excited about Manchester United. It says freelance. Yes, we are. 100% we are. Here we go again. Amorim is the special one. Well, what do you want me to say? He's crap. Is there anyone else better out there? James, come on, answer back. Daily Foot says, high press. Are you sure these players will go for a high press? I am. I know the players that we've got. And if they're nurtured and looked after enough and coached well enough, they will be more than capable of a high press. We've seen elements of it under Ten Hag even this season. Like I said, it's not consistent enough, but look, they have to change. They have to change. Look, the difference now is, and this is like people coming back, and I've just had a couple of comments there, it's the same old, here we go again, the next manager in line, he's the next one, the big difference. Well, there is a big difference this time because you've got a football structure above who want a certain style of play, who've brought in a manager to play a certain style of play. And you know what? They will back this manager. This is Ineos' first manager. If these players are not falling into line, don't expect it to carry on like it did in previous years. Don't expect it to be like the Glazer years. We got rid of 17 players last summer. 17. If these players are not cutting it or don't fit this system, you have got a structure in place now to back a manager. And the fact that he's Ineos's first appointment as a manager is big as well. They will give him everything and every tool. It will be manager. I hope it will be. I'm guessing it will be. It will be coach before players. It has to be at Manchester United now. That's the culture change. Ineos will back Amorim, I feel, and I do think that it is going to be different this time because you've got two elements to it instead of one. We keep changing the managers, and we did it before under the old regime, but now it's different. It's a different regime. It's a different structure. And the beauty of this is that now we have got a footballing organisation within Manchester United that can see issues off the pitch that they will deal with. Amorim's in to coach. I reckon the structure is going to bring him the players. He will have an input, of course, and help out, but I reckon he is just going to coach this team. There's your players. What type of player do you want? What position do you need? What does he need to have attributes-wise? The structure goes out, finds the players, and there you go. Pick from 1 to 4. These are the players that we've got. I want player A, B, or C, D, whatever. And he comes. That's how football structures work. That's how Liverpool work. That's how Manchester City work. That's how all of the top clubs work in European football. They have people doing the job for the coach. You can't say that, for instance, Kompany's a manager at Bayern. He's there as a coach. Simple as that. He's got no history of being a manager or running a football club. He's there because he's got a certain style of play. Yes, you could say he's down the pecking order, but still, he's in to coach. This is where it's going. Big clubs now are looking at the coaching side of things. When Pep goes, I don't think we're ever going to see anyone like him again in terms of the power that he's got. It's the same with Slot at Liverpool right now. He's the right man to fit a way that they want to play. Arteta knows his role at Arsenal. Everything is set up for them to just do their job and get what they need. And they're trying to make it fail safe in how it's set up. And I think that's where United are looking to go as well right now. He obviously speaks fluent Portuguese, which is a good, third of our squad. When you think about the players that will benefit when needed, when you can have that personal touch with players. That's from Bryant there, good comment. I'll keep checking with all of the news that is coming out. I was right. There is news just come out from Ben Jacobs. And Sir Dave Brailsford met Ruben Amorin face-to-face for face-to-face talks last week. So yes, we have found out now that it was. I said before, I bet Brailsford had something to do with this. And Ben Jacobs has just tweeted out right now that Amorim has definitely met with Sir David Brailsford, and I'm just looking at some more coming through now. Yeah, Ben Jacobs is talking more. Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth are playing a key role in the pursuit of Ruben Amorin, with a meeting between the parties taking place during the last international break. So it looks like the full team has been in on this one and has definitely, let's just say, definitely influenced, like what Samuel Lucker has said, Ruben Amorim coming into Manchester United now rather than waiting until the summer. I feel like United knew that other people were going to be in for Amorim in the summer. I think that's why they've acted right now. Adam, Ineos have cleared house, called 17 players, got rid of Murto and his cronies. Ruthless business and football structure we are witnessing. Yes, that's true, Mike. Good shout. No celebration for me. Just hope we can get some progress from whoever comes in. I like Amorim, but let's see. Yeah, it's like all in, like what Shawboy says there. There's a few people saying the same thing. I will be convinced once I start seeing progression on the pitch, which is right, which is what it needs to be. We need to see progression in how we play, results, player attitude. There's so much that needs to get better, but you can only bring in, and at this moment where we are right now, we've not seen any football. You can only judge what's happened, and what's happened is we've gone out, I feel, and got the best that is out there available besides Nagelsmann. I think I would still debate it with him, But I feel like I look at Amorim. I've watched videos recently. I've done as much research as I possibly could on him and just looked into the character. I mean, we've done a little bit already in looking in a couple of other videos. Like 10 days ago, I did a video here on Forever United TV about Amorim being next in line for Manchester United, and Ten Hag wasn't safe. So I've got that. We've got information from Amorim then on that video, but it was like it was being done. I can't remember why we even did that video. There must have been a report out about Amorim being in talks with Manchester United and being linked with the club. So yeah, I know what type of character he is. He's sort of that. He is charismatic. That is something that is huge in all of this as well, is it not? We've just lived nearly 2.5 seasons with the most uninspiring, lackluster, non-inspirational manager that I can remember. At least Van Gaal and Mourinho had a bit of something about them. They had that spark. Yeah, it may not have worked. Do you know what I mean? Like Ole, maybe not. But right now, I feel like we have got character in Amorim, and I do believe that he is the right move forward. I will be proved right or wrong, obviously, and I will be stood there outside Old Trafford on Sunday, hopefully after Amorim's first game, if it's like being said in the media that he's going to be done and dusted before then and he's in charge of that game. I will be there talking to fans tomorrow night. If you are at the Leicester game, don't forget to come over and say hello and give us your opinion on everything happening with Manchester United. I don't watch Portuguese football, so I don't know who he is. Look at this one, Batman. Just got to look at his record. Look at the trophies he's won. Look at the form this season. Look at the players he's developed. Look at the style of play. This season alone, 12 games, 11 wins, 1 draw. It's a phenomenal record. Absolutely phenomenal. And yes, it is the Portuguese league. But again, I go back to what I said. You have to go out and get the best that's available. And I feel like we have got the best that's out there right now, that we can get right now in the situation that we're in. To go over everything that has gone on so far, if you are just joining us, we've got over 2,300 in the room. Thank you. 500 likes. Keep them flying up. Make sure you have subscribed as well. You won't miss out on any United content. Amorim has got the green light. Has given the green light. Romano has said that report has come out this morning. He has accepted Manchester United's terms and conditions of a 3-year contract, which is worth €8 million a year. We are just discussing compensation with Sporting, which is not seen to be a problem because United have a fantastic relationship with Sporting already. That 3-year contract will begin as soon as this Friday. We're expecting a full announcement and club official announcement this week, according to TalkSport, on this one as well. And yeah, it is going to be imminent, is what's coming from the Portuguese media as well on that one. Amorim wanted Manchester United. He was convinced by Ineos that this was the right move for him now, considering where he is and how well he is doing right now, for him to leave Sporting and go into this job at Manchester United where they are. There was some serious convincing going on, I feel, in them conversations. In them conversations, we have just broke as well that obviously Sir David Brailsford was heavily involved, as you'd expect, on this sort of negotiation. That is his area of expertise. And CEO Omar Barada and Sporting Director Dan Ashworth were at the forefront of convincing Amorim with talks to come to United, which started around 2 weeks ago, just after probably the Spurs game, when everything started to go wrong for Erik ten Hag, and the writing was well and truly on the wall, I would say. The players will perform for 10 or 15 games, and once the excitement dried out, we will see true colour of players. Players' power is real. Player power is real. Look, I can understand that, John. I can understand everyone having the doubts. Look, it's just going to be a time thing. We don't know what's coming. It is the unknown, but it is a positive right now. So we're going to talk about it right now. I'm not here for that negative side of things. I've had enough of this and people saying that I've been wrong in the way I've talked about Ten Hag and things. Look, I just wasn't accepting crap, poor, turgid football. And if you thought that was right, then good on you. More power to you. But this is the most positive thing that we've had at Manchester United in the last 18 months. You could say the FA Cup final, yes, that tops it. Of course it does. But in terms of having a feeling about United going forward, this is the most positive bit of news that we've had in a very, very, very long time. And I am riding it out. I don't care. I can see Mount playing in a front three, same formation when he was at Chelsea. From Bryant, I hope I never see the players doing them stupid rondos in training ever again, says Sim. Luke Casey, Ahmad hasn't stopped dancing since the news broke. Did you guys see the David De Gea, a little cryptic story on Instagram as well? Maybe we'll start to hear stories around Ten Hag and what happened with a few of these players now as well. We might get some of them coming out, like Sancho's side. David De Gea clearly had an issue. I'm buzzing. I never wanted Eric Ten Hag. Dutch football is boring and lacks technicality, says Razek. Jinxie Ryan, how will I recognise you tomorrow night, Adam? How will you recognise me? Well, you can see me now. And then just look at your phone and you recognise. Look, I'll be over near the burger stand, hot dog stand, to the right-hand side of the Trinity statue, looking at the stadium from the east stand car park. So, yes, just on the concourse there, right in front to the right-hand side of the Trinity. If you look for a hot dog stand, and you'll see me in around that area around there. So come over and say hello if you're actually there. And we'll have a chat about Ten Hag. We'll have a chat about Ruben Amorim. Super chat in from You Got Raws. Thank you, mate. This manager can tell Antony he is crap in English and Portuguese. I like it. Hold them accountable. I like that comment. Thanks for the super chat, UK. You Got Raws. Look, the Portuguese and South American speaking players, of which we have a lot. When you look at it, what have you got? Lissandro, you've got Garnacho, you've got Antony, Bruno, Dalot. There is quite a few, isn't there? There is. So Casemiro's there as well. They say Lissandro. I did say Lissandro, didn't I? Yeah. It is an exciting time, but his English is absolutely brilliant. There will be no communication issues. And you know what? We may actually see some exciting press conferences. We may see some charismatic ones. It would be interesting to see how he handles the media. He's going to have to do his own work and learn how things are done with the British media, I feel. But still, you've got to look at it as a big positive that he does speak very clear and perfect English. And I think there's like that communication factor that always seemed to be missing with Ten Hag. It just looked like the players didn't know what he wanted them to do. And I know it's a small thing, and I know there's managers that have translators, and it shouldn't really matter. Football is a universal language and all that jazz, but still, it goes a long way to just helping the smaller things. Like I said, if there's a player that needs to be taken aside and spoken to privately or need comforting or just in his native tongue or anything like that, little minor gains, that's what it's all about. Remember David Brailsford's words? Minor gains. We just chop until we get to where we want to go. That's what it's all about. Super chat in from Colonel says, he has to play the right team, not individuals. It's time for the likes of Rashford to be dropped. His system of play requires fitness and effort. Do you know what? It'd be interesting to see if he changes any players. That will be key, I think, in proving to a lot of the United fan base if he is the right man or not. Look, he has a massive influence on players that he brings in and develops at Sporting. Can he do it at the next level? I think that's what a lot of United fans need convincing of more than anything. Look, we know we've got good technical players. We know we've got players that will run all day long. We just haven't had the right guidance for them. And fans have got sick of it. Fans have got fed up of no players being accountable for their actions or poor performances. We've carried on this mediocrity train for so many years now that fans have just got used to it. And I feel like that is what is the big convincer. That is what people are waiting to see. Can Ruben Amorim actually get into these players that are underperforming, the so-called bigger players like Rashford and Bruno, and turn them around? If they sit it out, they'll know they're sitting it out for a reason. I think systems definitely suit players a certain way. You know what? Like, this changes a few things. Like, what will he do with Casemiro now? Will he keep that experience there? Which of the next youth players is coming through? It's such an exciting time for him as well as a United fan right now, because he's going to be looking at that talent that's coming through our academy, and he's going to be handpicking certain players out here, there, everywhere, and going and trying to fit them into this system that United have got. That's the exciting thing. What's he going to do in the Europa League? Can he win the Europa League? Can you imagine he comes in, he turns this Europa League season around, and all of a sudden, Manchester United pick up that Europa League trophy. He gets us back into the Champions League. Ouch. Ouch. That is what is important in all of this. I think Manchester United have got an opportunity to pick up a trophy this season. So, yes, that's what I think we need to also look at in this. Glenn C with a super chat says, the good thing about mid-season change is the players are on trial for the remainder of the season and the summer can be planned ahead. It's a very good point, Glenn. Very, very good point. It's like if you don't impress now in this moment, if you don't impress now from this point to the end of the season for Amorim, with that structure and the constant communication that we know that they have with the manager like it wasn't there before, that's the difference I was talking about earlier on. If you think that it's going to fail because we've just changed another manager, don't forget, Ineos are in play now, and they have already acted by shipping out 17 players in their first summer. Think what they can do, having seen a full season under their command and their manager in place, that he's not happy with certain things. These players now have to act. The time of Player FC and that summer camp Manchester United training ground, them days are gone. They are well and truly gone. And what we look at now is what these players are going to do to prove their worth to stay within. I feel like Ineos will be brutal in the summer. And even more so now that they have got their man in place. And his input of what he thinks from the training ground, from Van Nistelrooy, from the games that they've played, the performances, that going into Ineos now ready for the summer, that is huge. That is absolutely massive. So I feel like that's the big difference in all of this. That's why it's going to be different this time. It's not just the next man on the conveyor belt, the next manager to lose his job and fail. There's more to it. There's a lot more to it. Good morning to you as well, Kazi. Ginge says, players can't blame the manager for at least 7 months. Eyes on Mr. Marcus Rashford. We all know you are the weasel at the club. Ginge not happy with him. Rolls Game says, get the big names gone this summer. Rashford, Bruno, one needs to be one made an example of. Time to bring back. Nobody is safe in the team. You don't perform, you don't get. So you get gone. Yeah, you get them gone. Sorry about reading that there. That was my dyslexia kicking in there a little bit. Director of Football says, it's more about watching every United player for the first time in years. I have to adapt to a new system with footballing executives watching and more sensible fans than stupid ones observing too. That would be everyone in our chat right now being that sensible that Director of Football is alluding to, by the way, because we are all sensible fans in here. I'm just going to check this poll out. Wow, we have over 2,000 votes on the poll. Still got 2,300 in the room watching. Thank you, everybody. 2,200 votes in the poll. Have United got the best manager available in Amorim? I keep saying it wrong. Yes, 83%. No, 17%. Wow, let's keep that running for a little bit longer. We got a couple of super chats to get in. Adam, your content is brilliant. Thanks, Marcus. Love that. Brilliant super chats. That picks me up nicely. That just makes me feel like I have been taking a lot of stick recently for the Ten Hag side of things, and I've just stuck to my guns and been honest, and that's all I ever will be. So thanks for that, Marcus. It means a lot. Left back incoming in January, ? Says you got Ross. That is a huge position in the new system. Have no faith in Shaw to get in and stay healthy. No, I think UK Ross, what you said there is very important. I do believe that we will be maybe. It depends who goes. Look, if Malacia comes back in, you don't know. Look, I would be personally. I'll be going in January. I'll be looking at Alvaro Fernandez. Look, is it not set up perfectly? Another Spanish player coming into this system, used to the Portuguese style of football. I know Benfica is slightly different to Sporting, but another player that I feel can comfortably adapt to an Amorim system. And we have got the perfect opportunity to bring him in. Look, he is brilliant with younger players. Alvaro Fernandez knows Manchester United. He knows the culture. He knows what it's all about. He's been through the academy ranks. He's been Player of the Year at Manchester United's academy. He has got everything ready-made, I feel, to come in. He's now got experience at the highest level, playing in the Champions League. Amorim could possibly just make this happen now. This is the important thing. He would have had close-up knowledge of Alvaro as well, obviously playing in Portugal. I just think that certain things now will start to unfold that I don't think would have happened before. You only have to look at Alvaro Fernandez and what he said about Ten Hag and where it went wrong and how he told him to just go and find another club. There's a lot of stuff that Ten Hag did wrong at this team, and a different look and a different perspective on things is definitely important right now, and I just think that we are going to get it with Ruben Amorim, and I'm really looking forward to it all starting. Our players are crap. Amorim will fail badly. With this lot, again, it's going to take a lot of convincing the fans. I've not got an issue with the comment. Look, everyone has seen enough. I get it. I totally get it. I know you're not coming in to put a dampener on it. You need convincing. That is totally fair enough. And you know what? I hope he proves us all right. Well, proves people wrong and proves me right. I really do, because all we want to see is decent football continuously. We want to see consistency. We want to enjoy going and watch Manchester United for more than 2 or 3 games a year when we actually turn up and play well. Just give us a little bit more. That's all we're asking for. And I think he can. Alvaro should 100%, 1000% be brought back. No ifs and buts. He stays healthy and is young. True. Ruben will have far better quality of players to implement his system, as in the players are fitting his system better. Showcat, I get that, definitely. Do you think he'd utilise Xerxes as one of the number 10s? Also, we'd have to go big on 2 left wing-backs in winter if we want this system to work. Again, Daly going into the Fernandez sort of conversation there. Will we bring in a left-sided full-back or wing-back type of player in January? I think everybody's thinking the same thing here with this. They can see how the system works, and they can also see what United need to do. So I feel like we have to, obviously, go out and rectify areas of the pitch that we haven't got cover. I'll tell you what, Malacia, you may call me stupid right now. You may just say this is a ridiculous comment, but don't count Malacia out of this. He could be a key part in all of this. I'm not saying his first team. I'm not saying that he is the key to all of this system opening up and everything like that. But a natural-sided forward, a natural-sided left back who can play going forward as well. We know he's got the energy. We know he's got the pace. We know he's got the tenacity. Do you know, you see where I'm going with it? Look, you can shoot me down all you want. I know that it's a bit of a far-out shout, saying that Malacia is the answer and he's going to come back and everything's going to be all right. He's not. But he's an option, though. And he is close to returning. Like, next month, we are going to see Malacia on the pitch. Just let that sink in. The natural-sided left footer. Can you imagine Malacia on the left next to Martinez on the left of a free centre-back system? Martinez plays free at the back for Argentina week in, week out. It's his favourite position. Oh, God. Put De Ligt in the middle. Yoro on the right. Martinez on the left. You could have Malacia on the left-hand side, wing-back. You could have Dalot. There are options there right now for this system to work. Yes, we can improve it in January, but right now, in a tough run of games, if he wants to implement a system, I think we've got players that can do it. I really do. I think we have got the perfect players. You've got Agate, who could sit in front of that back three. He's made for it. He's used him before. There is zero excuse for this not to work for him. And then you can make your decisions about the other 2 midfielders that you put in there, and then the 2 forwards. Will we see Xerxes and Rashford? Will we see Højlund and Rashford? Højlund and Xerxes? Will it even be Bruno Fernandes in that number 10 role, or one of the 10s? Will it be Bruno and Xerxes? And maybe Rashford and Højlund? You have got umpteen options. We could actually play Kobbie Mainoo in his more favourable position further up the pitch. Oh, I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm sorry. It's just exciting, and I've been down in the dumps and miserable for so long that I just jump onto the possibilities of things turning around right now. And I may be put back in my place. I will gladly accept it and look like an idiot. That's what I put myself out there for. I'm not going to pretend I'm someone I'm not. I'm just going to say it as I see it. I'm going to act the way I feel, and that's why I love all you guys getting involved in the shows as well and being part of it. And there's plenty of people in the room right now, so you must be loving it. Anyway, another super chat from Ryan Lords. Thank you, Ryan. I have a feeling a lot of these sales will happen in January and the summer, as some of our players won't potentially fit in his system. A lot of players could come in January. Ineos could spend their money, but I think what we have to remember with January is the cut-off for that financial PSR year, financial fair play, is June 30th, and the transfer window doesn't open until after that in the summer. So we can't sell any players to balance our books, and I don't know who we're going to sell in January. That's the only stumbling block. You've sort of got like a clean, fresh slate going into July, but the books have to be handed in before June 30th. So important for the summer transfer window is we qualify for the Champions League and get that money in. It's also important that we make sure that we don't overspend in January now that we've had to fork out money for Ten Hag and Ruben Amorin in 1 month now. What you're looking at there, 20-odd million spent already. That could have been going on a left-back in January. Needs must, which is why I think Malacia is absolutely crucial for United right now. Marcus back with another super chat. Love that, Marcus. Thank you. Adam, Rashford and Shaw out. I believe that's our main problem. Mason Mount is will always be injured. Shaw, Rashford, Mount. Big first team players. Will you get money for them? Not much for Shaw. Don't think you'll get much for Mount. Marcus Rashford, yes, I think you have got money in that. And that's 100% profit. So I can see why people would say go with the Marcus Rashford one. If you push him out, then you have got a serious chance of making serious money and reinvesting that properly under this new structure with a player that Amorim wants. You can see why you would do it. There is going to be content coming out, a roundup of what has happened in this crazy week so far. I am working on that right now as well, just a breakdown of everything. Really interesting, in-depth video coming up for you guys as well, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV as well to make sure you that you don't miss out on anything coming up news-wise with United. It's going to be a bit of a barnstorming few days, big week. Obviously, we've got game day tomorrow. Let's not forget, we've got games to play as well as all this excitement going on off the pitch. It's fantastic right now. It is an absolute buzz to be a United fan again. Mike Crammon says, morning Adam, morning everyone. The new era incoming, but also have to say thank you to Eric Ten Hag. Thank you for the trophies, Eric. That is it. I'm not going to slag him off anymore. You're right. He did give us them moments. Brilliant moments. I was with my son on both of them occasions. When we picked up the trophy, I was with Kaz when we picked up the trophy in the League Cup as well. And I was with Alfie in the FA Cup final. It was such a brilliant day, and I'll never forget it. So yes, thank you for them moments. I'll never forget them, especially with me having my son with me as well. I will always remember them days, so thank you for them. And yeah, I do think that we can just look forward now. Put everything else to bed. There's no more uncertainties, apart from obviously how we're going to play. But in terms of the uncertainties within the fan base, decisions on Ten Hag and things like that, that's all gone now. And what we have to look at now is that Manchester United are actually in a position where we can think that things are going to change instead of just guessing and hoping. Because I can see the potential in this. The breaks are off now, guys, with the super chat. Thanks for that, Greg. Baz, how you doing, mate? I hope you're well, pal. Mine, Adam, fantastic appointment. This one, in my opinion, exciting style that fits our current set of players. True. No need to tear it up, to tear it apart again. Just implement a system that works for them. Exactly that. Brilliant comment from Barry there. And I think that is the best way to look at it. The best way to say this is how it's going to work under Amorim is that you look at how he plays and you look at what players we've got, you can see possibilities that this system works. Utilise the potential that's in this Manchester United squad. Play the players in their best positions and stop misprofiling them. I don't think he will. I think he knows where every player is going to play. How excited is Manuel Ugarte right now? That's what we'll do. That is it for the show this morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Fantastic numbers. Just under 2,500 in the room with us on the morning show is brilliant. Thank you so much, everyone. That is your morning update. Please do, before you go, I'm going to ask you one thing. Make sure that you are fully subscribed. You can subscribe by clicking on this here. And then if you want to watch the moment that United announced Amorim, click on this video right here. That's for people who are watching later on after the live show, so don't think I'm doing a dance. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you all later on. I will keep you up to date with everything. Cheers for watching.